let's try to unwind. I mean, you can't be excited on button press, but on the other hand, it's kind of nice to be close with somebody like that. So let's try. I mean, if it doesn't work, we can still be like, nah. You look at her standing, barely lit, and notice there's a few candles scattered around the apartment. It occurs to you that she has tried to make this night special for the two of you. Even though you have a tight knot of antisocial frustration in your stomach, seeing how much she cares makes you want to try to melt it away, so you can show her how much you care that she's gone through all this trouble. However, you desperately need to shift gears first before that's even possible. You look amazing. Let's have a drink together, you suggest, hoping that she will give you the push you need to get into the mood. You go into the kitchen and pour the two of you drinks, trying to focus on letting go of your bad mood. You sit down on the couch next to her and she cuddles up to you instantly. What should we toast to? She asks as she takes the drink. You think for a moment, passing up the cheesy to us option. You say what's on your mind, letting go of your bad day. To tonight. The two of you cheers and you ask her about her day. Conversation turns flirtatious and the two of you find yourself in the bedroom shortly after. You find that you're having trouble getting into things physically with her and remember that diminished arousal was a possible side effect of your medication. You'd hoped that you were part of the population that wouldn't be affected by it, but it seems as though this was not the case. However, you're still able to enjoy the closeness with Alex and fall asleep together happily. Yeah, that's one of the side effects, unfortunately, of those medications. You can get stupidly asexual, like nothing. And this can be very frustrating if you're in a relationship with somebody, obviously, but it can't really be helped. It's just part of the medication. What you can do is to just find other ways, or you just, you can lend your partner a hand, maybe even like literally lending a hand because you're not feeling in a mood for it. I mean that's still kind of nicer. Or you can just spend the time together and just kind of be around them while they're having fun, so it's not like completely dead, so. But yeah, unfortunately you have these side effects. It sucks. It's an early winter evening, and even though it's not particularly late, the time of year has lent the sky and almost prematurely darkened the cast. Day after day, just like today, you trudge home from a job you have increasingly come to hate. On this day, your job misery seems to have reached critical mass, and now even shedding your rain-laden and uncomfortable work clothes helps you to unwind from your workday. You collapse into your couch, blank and numb. While your job always seemed to just be an unpleasant reality of existence, it was a position you sort of fell into unexpectedly, never intending to work there long term, and it's getting harder and harder to keep it up. While it's certainly not your dream job, you've always sort of stuck it out of necessity before, but it's becoming increasingly difficult to do that. Though you couldn't even begin to imagine what else you could do, you find yourself face to face with a question you just can't ignore. Is your complacency worth the price of this level of misery? What do you do? What we can't do is just send resumes. Maybe we should work on our project, because if you put it off too much, it gets so freaking frustrating. I hate it. I hate it so much, especially when depression keeps you from working on your projects. It feels so fucking shitty. Because it doesn't help to just aimlessly look through jobs, so might as well. You sit down at your computer to blow off some steam, but are surprised to find your thoughts drifting to your long-neglected project. You talk yourself into opening it up and taking a look for the first time in what must be weeks. For whatever reason, your anger that you've been feeling towards your day job seems to have converted to a pure passion, as you seem to be overflowing with ideas tonight. It's as if you've got a build-up of ideas that just haven't gotten out, and now you're in the zone. While you don't get an unnatural amount of work done, you do work for a solid couple of hours, and it really feels great. What's more, you share some stuff across your social media networks, and you receive quite a bit of positive feedback, which makes you feel great. When you go top bed that night, you tell yourself that your job may suck, but at least you've got something you really care about that you can put effort into and feel really good about yourself. In fact, as you're falling asleep, you can barely even remember your workday. So now our depression is you are moderately depressed, you find it hard to focus on anything because you get physically and mentally exhausted very quickly. And here we are, you are in therapy with a good counselor, you're doing cognitive behavioral therapy techniques, and they are starting to help. And your medication is helping to keep the edge off and keep some of the darker and more negative feedback loops from being as prevalent. So, that's good. It's a little past 8 p.m. on a Tuesday night. You're at your computer, frustration levels peaked, rubbing your eyes and sighing heavily. You're working on a project from your job that has you stretched to wit's end and trying to meet a looming deadline. As it lurks closer and closer, you're seriously doubting your ability to get it done. You're dragging your feet a little at work. You've been dragging your feet a little at work due to your complete lack of energy lately, in spite of wanting to do a good job. You find yourself unable to push past it and feel horribly useless for it. You slide your hands off your face to look at your screen as it beeps at you. Attic, hey, are you there? I really need to talk to someone about something. You feel like you're getting nowhere with your current task and could probably use a break. However, you know that you have a history of getting distracted and then losing motivation to pick something back up afterwards. What do you do? He sounds like he needs help. And as much as we should probably focus on our own issues, helping others can be really good. And we're not really getting anywhere anyway, so let's see if we can take a break and not let it slide into getting super distracted. You're feeling like you've hit a brick wall with your task, so why not take a break and help with a friend? Hey, what's up? Attic. Oh, good you're there. I just found out I got cheated on. I don't know what to do. Oh no, that's horrible. The two of you talk for a long time, and you lend a shoulder to your friend. You give him space to rant, to cry, and most importantly, to be able to voice his inner turmoil. You give him your full attention and talk him through what his options are for what he does next. You keep him from doing something rash, and the two of you decide it's best for him to sleep on it before doing anything. Exhausted, he departs for bed and thanks you for being there to talk with him. As you close the I am window, you feel horribly sorry for your friend, but happy that you were able to help. It serves as a tangible reminder to you that you're capable of being useful to someone instead of solely being a mess that needs everyone's help. You put up your work project and find that you're suddenly able to get some solid progress done on it that night. Yep, there you go. Just needed a bit of extra motivation. It's a sunny Saturday afternoon. You're in deep thought on the way home from therapy. However, you notice this time that you're not in the same negative feedback loops you usually get trapped in when being this introspective. You realize that although you still have your bad days, your lows aren't quite as low as they used to be. Your antidepressant bottle rolls across your dashboard as you take a left turn. You've been on this medication for quite a while now, after a period of trying a few different kinds. Though you still have minor side effects, they've overall become an unnoticed part of your life. You feel as if your life has generally changed for the better recently, and you begin to wonder if you need them anymore. You don't feel as much despair or hopelessness and you feel as if your life is what? Oh, they copied that. Okay. You don't feel as much despair or hopelessness anymore. What do you do? Well, you keep taking them. Like I said, you can't just stop them. You need to keep taking them. Besides, whenever you stop taking them, you could relapse again pretty bad. In a lot of cases, you have to take them for years, sometimes forever. So, continue taking. You have the realization that you can't be sure if it's a general life change that's making you feel better, or if it's just a sign that the medication is working. You decide against discontinuing your meds. It's not really a lesson you'd like to learn the hard way, and the side effects of this particular kind are negligible. The next time you see Dr. Melville, you tell her about this. She informs you that this is a common train of thought that people have begun using medication to help them manage their depression experience, and that you've managed to dodge a bullet because it generally ends poorly. Yeah. She also asks you to talk to her first before making any decisions about your medications in the future. What I said. So. It's yet another sleepless Thursday night. You're at Alex's apartment, wide awake in bed as she's sleeping peacefully beside you. She fell asleep hours ago, and you've been laying here, unable to shut your brain up long enough to fall asleep. You've added the feelings of insecurity about your relationship to the rest of the noise in your head keeping you up tonight. It was kind of a tense night between the two of you. You arrived after a stressful day at work, and as you made dinner together, you barely said a word. You were stuck in your own head and had a hard time really being present with her as your thoughts turned to all of the ways you feel like you're deficient at being a good person and beating yourself up mentally for each one. She told you she could tell you were in one of your moods and said that she wouldn't push you, but missed talking to you as the two of you sat on the couch together. You wanted to tell her how much you love her, but you couldn't make the words come out right and ended up sounding defensive instead. As you lay there next to her, you trace your fingers across her arm just lightly enough to not wake her. You still haven't explained your depression to her, or how you started seeing a therapist, or that you've been taking medication and it's starting to feel more and more like a secret you're keeping instead of something she simply doesn't know about you. It's becoming more and more apparent that it's impacting your relationship with her, and you feel guilty about this. However, you're also terrified that if she knew exactly how fucked up you are, that she would leave you. You already worry that she's only with you because she doesn't realize how terrible of a person you are yet, and you're afraid that this would be the final thing to expose you. She stirs in her sleep and squints as she opens her eyes. With the confusion that comes with waking up, she asks you if you're awake, and then if everything's okay.